Probably heard that September 2017 was the single most active month for Atlantic tropical cyclones on record. But we want to talk about the season as a whole for the entire stretch. The stretch of 8 hurricanes from August 9th to September 29th for 2017 was something that we hadn't seen in the Atlantic basin in 124 years. And so many of this year's hurricanes have had such long lifespans. So for many people, it felt like Harvey, Irma, and Jose. It just felt like they were never going to go away.
In the city's pumping system led to major flooding this summer after heavy rain. City officials hope the pumps can withstand this storm. Michelle Miller is outside one of the city's largest pumping stations. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. This city breathing a collective sigh of here we go again. At this pumping station, 3 of its 15 pumps are offline across the city. 9 others still non-operational as officials try to bring those back up to speed, hoping to avoid a repeat of what happened here back in August.
Once again, we find ourselves in familiar territory, threatened by another storm that's coming our way.
Taking no chances in the Big Easy, Mayor Mitch Landrieu declared a state of emergency in New Orleans. The city's drainage issue was revealed during flash flooding back on August 5th, when a storm drenched the city with 8 to 10 inches of rain in one day. The problems included pumps and turbine power stations not working and a shortage of personnel at the Sewage and Water Board, the agency that runs the drainage system. The city has a total of 120 pumps. 19 of those pumps were not operational during the August storm. 7 of them are back online, and 26 backup generators are also in place.
Starting Saturday at noon, we'll have 140 pump operators and 42 support personnel that will be activated. They'll be operating 24/7.
The main concern of this system remains storm surge. Some low-lying areas of Louisiana have already been ordered to evacuate. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards has activated 1,300 National Guard troops across the state, including 15 assigned to New Orleans to monitor those pumps.
This is a storm not to be taken lightly. This is not an exercise. And if we get exactly what's forecasted, it's going to be serious.
And this system is slowing down oil production in the Gulf. 15% of production offline. That's about 254,000 barrels of crude oil every single day. And some staff already being evacuated from those oil plants.
Eastern advisory, and right now it is a Category 1. They didn't really change much with this advisory, Greg. Still 80-mile-per-hour winds.
Not surprising, really. I mean, the hurricane hunter's been flying in there pretty much all night long and really haven't found much wind over 75 miles per hour. So that's kind of what they're holding on to, 80 miles per hour.
And the thing to take note of is how quickly it is moving at 22 miles per hour.
Very, very fast. It's going to be on the northern Gulf Coast soon.
Got to finish those preparations. At this hour, we do have hurricane warnings.
Now, it's going to be a 90-mile-per-hour storm. It may be stronger, but it isn't strengthening right now. And that's going to make landfall very close to either Plaquemines Parish, which is the extent way down here on the bottom of the Mississippi River, missing New Orleans proper, but still, hey, New Orleans, you're going to get 75-mile-per-hour winds. So that's not a miss. And it's not going to miss Panama City because you're going to get 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's that wide swath of what's going to happen with this. And a 90-mile-per-hour wind gust or 100-mile-per-hour wind gust in Biloxi or Gulfport or Bay St. Louis, that is going to be the bullseye. But you can't focus on the bullseye. This storm is going to be all the way from New Orleans with significantly heavy rain, possibly trying to flood the city with fresh water because the pumps are working, but you can't put tens of inches anywhere. Now, this is a quick-moving storm. We don't anticipate that, but neither did Havana expect to see such a big storm this morning, but it's there right now. So there we go, Biloxi, Gulfport, Gulf Shores. Look at the wind speeds that we're going to see here. Grand Isle, somewhere around 68. That'll be 9 o'clock tonight. So spreading all the way from Pensacola to Slidell, but Biloxi at 113-mile-per-hour wind gusts expected with that one computer model. So what does that do? That knocks down power lines. This entire map from Lake Charles all the way into Florida, there will be some power damage, power outages, trees down. So at least 1 million people without power. The good news is you can drive to put the power lines back up, unlike Puerto Rico, where you can't drive there. Otherwise, a 5 to 9 foot storm surge, and this is not 20 feet from Katrina, but this is a big enough surge with a wave of 10 feet on top to do a lot of damage to the areas there that were hit so hard with Ivan, Dauphin Island, Biloxi, and Gulfport, and Bay St. Louis. You guys are really going to get the surge, and it's the water that kills you. So you have to get away from the water. If you're under this 5, 7, 9 feet, get away. Go up north of I-10. Get out of it.
This thing is trucking north-northwest at 22 miles per hour. If you happen to be on the coast, clouds are coming in. The rain will soon follow, and the wind is only going to increase. Something else is also going to increase. Well, those numbers are going to be going up in terms of storm surge along the coast. Please take it seriously. Let's see. Evacuation areas of A and B here in Pensacola. Mandatory evacuations are in effect. And I'll tell you what else is going to be in effect. More deterioration of conditions. Look at this Sunday morning. Winds now forecast to be 90 miles per hour early morning tomorrow. Then by Sunday afternoon, gosh, look at this. Possibly up towards Birmingham, perhaps near Tuscaloosa, then Huntsville, north of Atlanta, and then it zips its way into the northeast. If we extrapolate this all the way out into Tuesday, look at that. We still have winds around 30 miles an hour moving up towards New York and then possibly back out over to the Atlantic Ocean again. So again, latest we have for you, the breaking information is that we do have stronger conditions, stronger winds for the time being. Hurricane warnings, you see them shaded in purple, and where you have the red, well, that palette means that we've got a tropical storm warning. And one thing you notice is look how it invades farther to the north up into Montgomery and then into places like Birmingham. Then also notice tropical storm watches. That extends into parts of Georgia and maybe even as low as Tennessee.
Storm surge is on the way, really, to parts of the Mississippi, Alabama, even coasts of Louisiana and the western Florida panhandle. As much 5 to 9 feet of water rise above normally dry ground. That is very significant. It can do a lot of damage, this kind of coastal flooding, and also pose threats to life and property as well. Right now, the water rises are on the rise. I mean, they're about 1 feet. The water is above where it normally isn't. So that is significant, and that's only going to grow with the tide cycles with the approach of Nate from the Gulf of Mexico. So there's the overall circulation. Thunderstorms are flaring up and then falling apart and then flaring up, kind of like they do with a tropical cyclone of this strength. And I think it's going to sort of be that way all the way up into the coast.